waiting for the Facebook Live to start and we can let everybody into the room. And let me see if that Facebook Live is going yet. I don't see it quite yet. It said go live. Hopefully I didn't just start it again. 2 Facebook Lives is always good. Anyway, welcome everybody. We are so excited about what we are going to be talking about today. We are going to be talking about some of the ancient secrets and the ancient principles that are in the book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. And I'm still not seeing the live come on quite yet. We're almost there. Wonderful. Okay. We'll just wait for that live to connect and then we'll be good to go. Okay, it's connected. Wonderful. So awesome. Welcome, welcome everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad I'm here. I really missed everybody. Every Sunday we come together and we talk about the principles of this book. And today is March 24th, 2024. And we are going to be discussing some of the wonderful secrets from this book. While you are coming in, I'm not able to see everybody, but while you are coming in, I would like you to put in the chat, what makes you your wonderful, uniquely wonderful you? So what makes you wonderfully unique? And, or if you have a life's purpose that you would like to put in the chat, go ahead and put in the chat what your life purpose is. And we will review those a little bit later. I know that these are a little bit more, one of my wonderful things that is very unique about me is I am such a communicator. Communication is like so important to me, and also creativity. I'm very, very creative, and that's what makes me. So it looks like Dr. Ann says truth seeking, and Carol says, I remind myself, like the real estate sign says, I'm gorgeous inside. Carol, I love that. That's wonderful. Did we stop the screen share? I just want to make sure that we're okay.
I think we've stopped the screen share.
Okay, great. I am going to do the screen share. I want to hear from everybody because I've missed everybody. And let's see.
Can you say the question again, Jayna? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Hello, Shifra. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, 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 good. It is what makes you what makes you wonderfully unique? What is your wonderful uniqueness that you bring? And I don't know why my screen share is not working.
You want us to say or type it in?
Type it in the chat. Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, my screen is not working. Okay, there we go. Maybe it will work now. Okay, perfect. I want to say, okay. Perfect. Today, we are going to be talking about how the ancient secrets come back to ourselves. How does it bring it back to ourselves? And before that, I would like everybody to turn on their camera. And I just want to say hello to everybody. And so I'm just going to say, I'm going to spotlight you. Is it Nina? I'm going to spotlight you. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, my love. Let me find a way.
No, we're on. If we see ourselves in our camera.
Oh, Jimbo, I hear you. You want to mute yourself real quick?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Great. Nina, it's so good to see you. I'm just going to go ahead and spotlight everybody that's got their cameras on and just say hello and just give a quick wave. So, hello, Beverly. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Lynn. How are you? Are you new to the group?
Oh, no, I'm just a quiet person who comes quite often.
Well, it is so good to see your face. We like seeing your face. Hello, Susan and Joseph. How are you? Good to see you. Hello, Carol. Catherine, how are you?
Good to see everyone.
Hello, Jimbo, Romarishi, and Tara. It's so good to see you guys. So good. Hello, Dr. Ann. So good to see you.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Luke. Let's see. Hello, Robin. Robin is helping me with technology
Good
today.
morning, everyone.
And Carol's helping us with technology today.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good day, good moment.
And I'm going to do, if I can do, I'm a little slow at this. Katie. Hello, Katie. So good to see you. And there's Cornelia, of course. She's helping with technology today as well. Hello. How are you, Ariana?
Hello, Jayna. Hello, everybody. I'm doing great.
Shipper, we've already said hello, but I wanted to say hello again.
Hello. Hello.
It's
everybody.
good to see you. Great. And we've got, please forgive me if I say your name wrong. Is it Nezib? Nazib. It's so beautiful to see you. I love your quiet presence. You just have a
I know.
beautiful radiance.
Hi,
Thank
Nazim.
It's so good to see you. Hello, how are you? Is it Reshma? Reshma?
Yes. Hello, hello.
Thank you for joining our call today.
Thank you.
Hello, Maggie. So good to see your shining face. Bridget. Oh my goodness, I hope that you're feeling so much better. Oh, so glad that you are here. Hello, Deborah Ann. Look how beautiful you look today. Thank you for joining the call.
I love our kitchen.
Hello, Anne Renee. So good to see you.
Ciao, everyone from Albania. It's great to see everybody around the world. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Hello, Jacob. How are you today?
Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Can't wait to hear about your experience.
Yes, we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks, but it was wonderful. But so glad to see you. I always love to hear your voice.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Susan. So
Hello, good to see you again. Hello, everyone.
So glad that you are here.
Thank you. Me too.
Oh my gosh, Judy, so good to see your beautiful shining face.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate it.
Hello, Belle. How are you?
Inviting everybody to come and join me in Ashland in early June.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Hello, Sue. How are you doing? Oh, you're muted.
Hi, it's been a long time. I'm working normally on Sundays, but today I had a day off, so I'm joining the group. Yay!
You've chosen to join us. That's
Yes,
so
I
good.
did.
That's
Thanks.
wonderful. So good to see you.
Thank you.
Hello, Lisa. How are you doing?
Good morning. Cheers.
So good to see you. Wonderful. Now, I know that there's other people on the call. It looks like Millie's on the call. Hello, Millie. And let's see. Is there need to? I'm sorry. I can't. I'm learning my settings all over again. You know, you get used to it, and then there we go. There we go. Okay, great. So it looks like Millie's on the call, and it looks like
326, nice.
a lot of people are on the call. Heidi Wood is on the call. Raven's on the call.
Raven.
Karen Kellogg, Nancy, Nehemiah, Dale. So many of you guys are here. Thank you so much. I wanted to let you know this is your call. This Sunday mornings that we come together are your calls. Anytime you want to speak or you have something that you want to share, I want you to unmute and or raise your hand and just join in the conversation. If you have something that you would like to share on the Sunday call, please message me and let me know. Let's have a conversation. These are your calls. You know, they're not specific to one specific person or one specific group. They are for you. So I'm so grateful. This is part of how do these ancient secrets come back to ourselves? And it's such a beautiful topic. Is there somebody that would like to read some of the messages in the chat? Let me get my notes so I can stay on track, because we probably need to be doing announcements right now.
I couldn't read some.
Okay, wonderful. Before we do that, let's go ahead. Carol, do we have some announcements that you would like to share?
The big announcement is get those reservations made for the first week in June for Ashland. And we have a whole lot of information coming up about that, I'm assuming. So that's the most important one. And I guess the other announcement is love yourself today. We've had so many remedies we've shared. We have so many tips and tricks. High Vata, use that oil in your nose and your ears, and the sesame seed oil in your mouth, and love yourself today. Put this stuff into application, because it's not about information, it's about transformation. So maybe we're in week 3 of our 100-day program, 100-day experience, and that's going really well. So I believe that's, maybe Cornelia has something I may have forgotten, but I that's all I had on my top of my head.
Yeah, definitely. What we shouldn't forget, that finally for everyone who wants to come to Ashland, that the times are up for Pulse Clinic. So if you go into the newsletter, very important, there are now appointments available that you can book during the time. There will be times on the 3rd before we even start, but also on the 4th and the 5th. So if you go into the newsletter, there's the links, and I will also post them later on here in the chat. And also there are some dates available in Switzerland, in Spain, and in Portugal, and somewhere else.
Zurich.
I did put them in. Say it again.
Zurich.
In Zurich, yeah,
Portugal,
Switzerland.
yeah, Lisbon, Barcelona, those are the 3.
Yeah, so, and there will be more at some point, but we don't have those yet. So if you want to make an appointment, you are living in one of those countries, or it's not that far away, then maybe you want to travel. Dr. Clint is there, as well as in some places also Dr. Giovanni. And the big announcement is that Dr. Giovanni will also be there in Ashland again. So that are the big news for this week.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I make a community announcement, Jayna? I just wanted people to know that Sarah G, I don't know if she's on here or not. She's one of the wonderful members of our community. She's a fantastic artist. And she has said that if you commission a piece of art from her, and if I had the money, I would definitely do so, at any price level, she will donate the proceeds to help for up to 5 pieces of art. She will donate the proceeds to help the young people who are aging out of the orphanages. So I would encourage you to contact, I guess maybe Jayna has her contact information, to contact her. She's an amazing artist. So just wanted to let people know that.
That is a powerful, powerful announcement, Shipra. Thank you so much for sharing. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarabjit, for your, your generosity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She is an amazing lady, very, very, very talented, very inspirational. She's very intuitive. Yes. Robin, let's go ahead. Why don't we as a community, let's go ahead and drop into our heart for just about a minute. And let's go ahead and, oh, I'm going to do that, aren't I? Okay. I forgot. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and get this set up. And there we go. So let's just go ahead and connect to ourselves. Let's put our feet on the floor. Put ourselves in the power position. Let's connect into, bring back all the things that we've been thinking about. Connect to this present moment. Feel the love that just runs through your veins, the life force that just radiates from you. If there's something of sadness, honor it, love it, welcome it. Just be present. Send out your love. Love every part of you. And let's come back into the room. Shifra, will you read some of those things from the chat? We are talking about what is unique about you.
So, Carol, okay, let me see. Dr. Ann said, truth seeking. Carol Ray, I remind myself, like the real estate sign says, I'm gorgeous, all caps, inside. Bridget, welcome to, oh, okay, let's see, the deepening, Luke Sutton, the deepening of my awakening process. Catherine Monk, I'm very intuitive and able to connect to the unseen world, one true reality. I am here, it's beautiful, to be love and all that I am and do. It's time for the dimension of love. Esther Francis, love learning, celebrating, a joy dancer. And Catherine Monk, I will join you in joy dancing. Luke Sutton, in the way I express myself from my heart. Bridget, so honored my life purpose was filled in teaching library and computers to many, many students. To have one come back and say how much you meant to them means so much that any teacher can relate to. Lynn Brisden, being a calming presence. Me, I'm a very colorful and very open, outgoing, and I go out and make music and poetry and story. It's everywhere. I'm a bridge builder and activist, and I'm unspoken when I see injustice. I love interfaith events and love to dance and sing, and I'm very passionate and love people with a special love for children, and I love trees, animals, and nature. Raven, I'm safe to talk to, and I can attest to that. Robin Lee, what makes me unique, I am always an artist, and that comes through almost everything I do. My life purpose, making it fun to do the right thing for ourselves, our planet, and the earth, because we can make vibrant health on a healthy planet a reality. Yay. Cornelia Merck, my uniqueness is that I am dancing through life. I love that. Let's see. Okay, Bridget said it's not about information, it's about transformation. Anne Renee, I have led a very nomadic life, lived in many countries and many states in the USA. I am an ambassador of light, and I feel I am on assignment for the Divine Mother. Catherine says, me too. Catherine Monk. Jayna, we connect to the present moment. Feel the love that runs through your vein, the life force that just radiates from you. If there is something of sadness, I know. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the thing.
Beautiful. Okay.
I think we're to the end, are we?
To the end.
Wonderful.
All
Wonderful.
right.
Belle, did you have something you wanted to share?
Yes. Well, I was so taken, Shifra, by what you wrote. And I wrote back to you just personally, but I thought I'd share it out in the group that I am needs to be in capital letters. I am is in ancient teachings. I am has been translated to God in action. So every time we say I am, then whatever we're following it with is like a creation in the moment, just now. Even I am sick. It's like, is that what I want to create right now? No. And Shifa, so powerfully, you put in so many I ams that I just invited you to put it in capital letters, like standing for the creator that we are. God, whatever name we want to call him, her, it, and that, in action. And I think it's just so powerful to remind ourselves that we are ongoing creating. And Shifa, you did a fabulous job creating yourself today. So thank you. And then recreating everybody else here. So
Belle, I want to know, what is the wonderful uniqueness about you?
Well, I am an artist in life.
Yes, you are.
In and of life, an artist in and of life. That's what I am.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody who participated in that little experiment. I want you guys to just really connect to what is that uniqueness? What is the purpose that you have? And I want to rub our hands together and send out a blast of love to everyone who participated in that. Thank you. And Shifra, thank you for reading. Thank you. You guys are amazing. We are so blessed to be able to have such a unique group that comes together every single week in the space of love and in the ancient principles. Dr. Naram's master told him that 95% of the people don't know what they want, and they don't know how to enjoy it. They don't know how to engage in it. And we have this wonderful marma. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And to be able to bring that forth, but being able to identify the uniqueness in you is one of the steps to be able to help you bring forth what it is that you are to be in this life or to share in the world. And the ancient secrets, whenever we get stuck or if we have a health challenge or things, the ancient secrets always bring us back to ourselves. Wonderful. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share with what they've heard already this far?
I'm going to jump on a whim here, and it's been a long time since I've seen Sue, but I was just listening to a recording where she shared something unique about her birth, and I was wondering if she would share that, and then we can share what the insight that we had from Dr. Naram about that specific uniqueness.
Well, hi, Carol. I think you're talking to me.
I think it's Suma.
Okay, Suma Venu.
I would love to have both of you.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Have Sue. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, Mulvaney.
Good.
Okay, I can't remember what I wrote that you just read, but
it was about your birth, the uniqueness of your birth.
Oh, yes. When my mother got pregnant, she found out that she had contracted polio. So given that, she was not allowed to go to the hospital to birth me because of the contagious factor. And her father, my grandfather, was a physician. So I was birthed at home. And after I came out of the womb, my heart stopped beating, so they resuscitated me at home, and my mother died with my birth.
Wow.
I think looking back on it, you know, aside from the sadness and the grief, I think that the uniqueness of that was that it left me with an internal sense of, you know, I'm supposed to be here and I have a purpose. And to keep me alive, they rushed me to Rockford Memorial Hospital, and I'm living in Rockford right now, which is kind of interesting. And I was the first baby on the planet to have a full body blood exchange transfusion. It took 9 to keep me alive, and I was in an incubator for many, many months in the hospital. And for those who know about the deprivation around that, so I feel I have a purpose here. And I also feel very blessed that I made it through all that. And it's helped me to be gentle in my life. Is that what you were referring to,
Yes.
Carol?
Yes, it's such a beautiful story of survival and overcoming loss. And so one of the context of the conversation was about if we've had things like blood transfusions. I've had many myself. And when we look at our genetics, how are those things playing in with our doshas and our dhatus and our gunas and our all of these things that encompass us? How important are they when we're really trying to get to our healthy, vibrant, energetic self? And the response back that Dr. Clint shared was that Dr. Naram said from from his master's viewpoint, the thing that really matters is, what do you want? It overcomes our genetic predispositions. It overcomes the DNA predispositions, and it can be the most powerful force within us when we determine what do we want and go about that and envision it and make it part of our manifestation. So I thought it was such a beautiful story, Sue. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You know what? Thank you for asking.
We're so glad that you're back, Sue.
Thank you. I should be able to be back a little bit more now that my big fundraiser job is coming to an end. So
Oh, well,
be glad to come back. Yeah, thank you.
We're just so glad that anybody, whenever you are, sometimes we go away for a while and then we come back, and just know and this really rang true in my heart today. Everyone is welcome. Everyone that has ever been here, ever, thinks about being here, ever touches the book, ever, you are welcome here. I just want everyone to know that. It's so, so powerful. Dr. Ann, and then I want to hear from Sue. Ann.
Carol, when you were just saying, what do you want? It really comes down to what do you want? Like I wanted so much for my family to be healthy and for unnecessary suffering to stop in the world. And that's a huge thing, and it gets really overwhelming, and it can be frustrating, and it can be disappointing. But through ancient secrets, for me, like I know that like Saima and even biblically it says, like, if you're a bad person in one instant, you can be, a saint or anything like that. My learning processes is in a much slower kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, go like this, then down, then up, So for me, ancient secrets, when we first started out, and I just could see the love and the patience in everyone, in Carol, Ray, and Jayna, and I started to even like almost imagine that they were watching me in my interactions with my family and stuff, and being like, oops, I think that they could be disappointed in how I just behaved, or, oh, I think I got that one. Look, Jayna smiles even when it's, someone's telling a sad story or something. Like, I'll just keep referencing back to my friends that I've met on the screen here. And even this was way before I even got to meet some of you in person. But then it's like, and I like how Dr. Clint like slowly amped things up. Like first, let's start with ghee. Oh, now let's try to make mung bean soup. Okay, let's do this one principle this week, another principle next week. That helped me, this gradual kind of ramping up. And then joining the 100-day class and then the 3-year class. But like, I'm seeing the results in my life of getting what I want, even though it was a big apple to bite. But so, for instance, like during COVID, my mom she had a sliding glass door and we could come to visit her and she would put something out on the table and close the door. And then we could come and grab the thing off the table. And then I would leave her mung bean soup. And then we would step back and she would open the door and take the soup and then close the door, and then I got her the book. And I think by the time I gave her the book, she actually came outside and greeted me. And then my daughter read the book. And my daughter has resisted me. Like she grew up very holistically, but when she had her own children and all, it was Doritos and McDonald's. And I mean, it just made me crazy. And of course, then my behavior back was not so great, but the Ancient Secrets has helped me. And one of the things that I'm learning really lately, I'm noticing, is that I'm having a lot more grace with myself and my family and my clients and my housemates or whatever. I'm starting to realize before I would come in like a steamroller. I would come in like, why are you doing this? Of course you don't want to do the statistics say this. This would be better. Did you read that? And what about this? And wonder why like people would glaze over and be like, oh, or even be like, oh, she's crazy, just because I was throwing so much at them at one time. And so even I've been lucky that lately I've even had betas at my home and I'm watching how they interact with people. And that's really helped me to amp up my game, not only even how I eat, I'm watching even how they eat when they're here, but like how they're interacting with people and then how they'll give like, for some people, it will just be like, let's just try this one herb and maybe we should avoid wheat. Then somebody else, it's like, no wheat, no dairy, no meat, and you need a detox. And yesterday, like there are times when you have to like hit somebody a little bit hard, but the grace for which and seeing, I think the thing for me is seeing so many examples of grace and so many examples of applying what we're talking about and then seeing results in you. It gives me the confidence. But I'm also glad that I'm starting to acquire because my name is Anne and it's supposed to mean grace, but I walk like an elephant. And so I'm gathering grace from you in my delivery of the Ancient Secrets and grace with myself. Like this morning, I had all kinds of computer issue, the internet I still haven't figured out why it wasn't working, but like, I'm still calm. Before Ancient Secrets, I would be crying. Like I wouldn't even be able to have my face on the screen because I didn't get to do my hair or anything and my eyes would be all swollen. And so I've come a long way personally. But the biggest reward, honestly, is seeing the reward in my family. Like my daughter is coming around. My mother almost came to the reading. She did get sick because she went to an emergency room with my brother. Like I said, we live alternate lifestyles, you see. So my mom went with him. We all had the flu, but some of our family decided to go to the emergency room. Other ones decided to do the D-Viro and the other. I'm so happy that my daughter and the grandchildren all decided to do the D-Viro. I'm sorry that my mother went with my brother and then she got sick, but I'm having more grace with all that. And when Dr. Mira was here last, I had been really worried about my grandson for the last few months. He was not growing and he was looking really pale. And he would when we would take hikes, he would lay down on the ground. And I knew this is not normal for a 6-year-old. And when he was 3, he could hike the whole thing. And so I had to work my daughter a little bit about, the herbs and teas and things. And she said, I'll give you a month, Mom. I'll go along with you. I have to do the herbs 3 times a day, tea. But I'll give you a month. And 1 month he did grow. So then now she did 4 months. And then after the 4 months, we did start a little warmer thing. And I tell you, within 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in him. his coloring, his energy. Well, Dr. Mira came up right behind that, right? And she took their pulse. And when she said to him, "You're the healthiest of the three." Now, I didn't tell her any of the background, you see. Of the three children, you're the healthiest. I'm going to tell you, his little chest came up like this. And now he is completely different from that one liner. From that one liner, he is owning him being healthy. Instead of, it's like, Nana, it's, I just say to him, like, I just want you to be healthy. That's why I don't want pluck the Doritos. I just want you to be healthy. Instead of it being that connotation in his mind of this like pleading and the way Dr. Mira did that and the way he received it, and it has transformed his life. But then in turn, it's also transformed my life, because I had been so worked up about him not being sick. Like, I was making myself sick, seriously. Like, I was testing my blood pressure, and if I would see him with Doritos and my daughter let him eat the Doritos, and my blood pressure would go pink. And so now that's just one less thing that I have to worry about. And I'm seeing a results of applying the ancient secrets in my immediate family. And I'm beyond grateful for every one of you graceful beings and how you show up every Sunday to teach me. And that's what Ancient Secrets has done for me.
Well, we don't teach you, we love you.
That's right.
I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you. And love will teach you, as I can get this I can't seem to get the opening quote. Anyway, it's in the book. But Anne, thank you.
I guess I must learn a lot better being loved than just being taught.
Exactly. And that's what you were talking about when you were talking to your clients about why are you doing this? They're not feeling the love? And when you're watching the videos and saying, well, maybe we should start here, maybe we should start there, some people are more sensitive, and some people need kind of a little bit more of a heavier hit. And I think that I don't know whether they can read that in the pulse or not, but I think you were observing that they were aware, because and that's everything that you're saying is what we're talking about today. Because when Dr. Naram went to Baba Ramdas and wanted to be trained, and he said, come back tomorrow, and he came back every single day. And after 100 days, he broke down and said, I want to learn. And Baba Ramdas says, great, go clean the bathrooms. And he's like, what? When he wasn't cleaning the bathrooms well, and he came back and he said, how can you heal the people if you're not even able to take and clean 100% the bathroom? And that's what you're saying is the Vaidyas, they are 100% invested in being able to view the clients that are in front of them. And it's not about the Vaidya. It's not about them at all. It's about the pulse. It's about the person. And Dr. Naram said that Baba Ramdas had to break his ego and his fears so that he could give 100% service to the people that were sitting in front of him. And that's exactly what you were talking about, Anne. It was so beautiful. The other thing that I thought about is, which type of person do you like to be with? Someone who's yelling and frustrated and angry, or someone who's loving you and adoring you? I remember I had a text from a friend, and she says, how's your day? And I says, I'm grumpy today. And she said, I'm so sorry that you're grumpy. And in parentheses, ... slowly backing out of the room. And I just laugh because it's so true. Nobody wants to be around somebody who is angry. Though the anger is something, if you embrace it and you own it, you're not spewing it around everyone, but you're owning it. It has some very valuable, actually, nuggets. Those are really the turning points that bring the most healing, when you can identify this nugget. This anger is coming up. It's got a message for me, and I'm willing to look at it. But you have to be friends with it. You have to welcome it. You can't be angry at it and resist it. Otherwise, it's not going to come there for you. But anyway, I've gone on longer than I anticipated. But and thank you so much for your words of wisdom. It's I look back of March of 2020, and I look back at March 2024, and everyone that has joined in between, and look at the amount of growth that we have all had. It's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you. Sue, I would really like to hear from you if you're available.
I'm available. I'm available. Hi, Jayna. It's so nice to see you today.
It's so good to see you
too. I've been away for different reasons for about 6 weeks, and I've really missed being on calls. And oh, I'm so grateful to be back today. And I know Sue's story that she told, before, and even I just want to say this, Sue, to hear it again today, it still moves me in the same way. And it was really fun to hear all of what Anne has been going through, because I think we can probably all relate to the moments when we aren't what we want to be and who we want to be. And I certainly can relate to that. So I don't know what you wanted me to address, but
well, first of all, welcome back. You know,
thank you so
you
much.
have been on my mind the last few weeks. And you know, we had a personal conversation, and I'm just so deeply grateful, and has been definitely changed by our conversation. So I'm so grateful. But the other thing I want to share, you know, because I really adore you, and we're talking about what is unique. What is wonderfully unique about you, and you know, your purpose of the earth. You know, if you want to share that, anything that you'd like to share in that.
Okay. So well, what I'll say that I seem to notice is that I luckily and gratefully seem to usually look forward to things, and things mostly work. And I can't tell you entirely why, but it's just my experience. And I feel amazingly grateful for that. And I'm seem to be inherently an optimist. And I notice that because I'm around people who are saying, this won't work. Why are you doing that? That's not a good idea. And yet I do the thing and it works. And I don't know. So if I had to say what I feel blessed by and grateful for, it's that I just feel optimistic most of the time. And it opens up. Here's where it's interesting. It opens up, what do I want? Because I feel like just pay attention and ask. And sometimes I'm around people who say, well, you have to do that's, you can't even ask that, or you can't hope for that, or that will never work, or whatever. Some of those people are in my family. So my husband is not inherently an optimist, I don't think. And for one, and my son is kind of in the middle. But I just feel it's just I can't think another way. I that's how it. So that's what I feel like. For some reason, I need to make the most of that. And I have goals, and some of you may remember, probably I know you do, Jayna, when I was pushed by dear Cornelia during what do we want, and doing an exercise, and she said, and I said, well, I want this book that I'm working on. And then she pushed me, well, how much do you want, and where do you want it to go, and what do you want it to do? And all of a sudden everything changed. And that's what I want to say. Now, you might say, where was that optimism with the book? It wasn't not there, but it was not as clear. It was not as strong. It was not as forward moving. And for those that don't know, it was a book about my adoption and finding my biologic mother through a psychic, and my biologic father, who was a flyby, and both of them had false names. So that's the essence of the story. And I just felt so excited when I got pushed in the very process that we talk about on Ancient Secrets. What do you really want? But I knew what I want, but it was one of those learning moments where somebody telling me, pushing me to say, more about what I wanted and more about, which is exactly what we talk about, made me claim and own. And I feel a momentum and a trajectory that it's different since then. And
I love this story because this is what's been coming to me. So many times we show up on the call and we just have the conversation about the principles of the book. And I was on that call when that happened, and Cornelia she facilitated it beautifully. It was on the Ancient Secrets 101 course, and we were, she and Carol were introducing the concept, what do you want? And she took Sue down each point of the finger. Well, what will it look like? What will it be like? And it made her go into those spaces to be able to make it really real. And that's what I find is when we can make the ancient secrets real, they're so beneficial. Being that I was in India and I was with these incredible people, I saw the miracles happening so often. And it was a matter of your thought. Your thoughts are so powerful. And it's so important that we get those fears and the ego out of the way. But oh my gosh. And Sue, I can see, I have watched people in the community, they love being in your presence. And they love it when you are able to join the call, because I know that you're super busy and you're traveling, doing some wonderful things, fulfilling your life purpose. And that's part of the optimism. Who do I like to be around? Somebody who is angry or somebody who is not? And so that's one of the traits with Dr. Naram is he was always in that uplifted state. And I noticed that with Dr. Clint as well on the trip, is he always had an optimistic presence. So Sue, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Jayna. Thank you for when we got the confusion of the Sue's going. Thank you for inviting me anyway. And I was just waking up, but I was determined to be on this call.
Well, I'm so glad you are
there.
Normally you're not able to join. And so when I saw that you were here, I was like, yes, we got to hear from Sue.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And thank you. I appreciate
Now,
it.
I know I saw Deborah Ann, she had her hand up. Deborah Ann, is there something that you would like to share? And then we can go to Robin. Deborah Ann, are you there?
Yeah, there was something, and the flow of the conversation actually won't work with it right now.
Oh,
so
darn.
Please continue. Please continue.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So Robin.
Yes. So when I look at my purpose in life of, inspiring people to take care of their health and take care of the planet, I have found that the ancient secrets have really helped me to align myself with that more completely and more easily. When I look at what am I supposed to be doing right now from being led by love, that switches from my perspective, what I land on, what I'm supposed to be doing right now becomes more important, because I know it's being led to help the kids that are struggling right now, or it's being led to guide somebody who called me up because their blood pressure is through the roof, and I am willing to drop whatever I was going to be doing in the next 15 minutes or an hour to do that. And so and then with the what do you want, and what is your priority, and what does it feel like when you get what you want? I mean, that has completely changed my ability to complete the projects that are to help me fulfill my mission. So I have 6 neurographic coloring books and a playbook for achieving health and longevity, that when I was in the middle of it and I would do that, what is my priority? Get the book done. People need that. And so it's been really interesting for me to have the tools of the ancient secrets to be able to help me strengthen my my willingness to follow through on what my purpose is in creating the tools. Because normally I would, you know, I might go into the anxiety that would shut me down, and then I would do the anxiety point, and it has effectively stopped me having hours and even days that I would kind of sit there not knowing what to do. And so it's just been really fun to see how it works. And I have to say, it was like a OMG when you said that Millie was on the call this morning. because this morning, so I found out on Friday that things have reached a really crucial point in the 5th grade class that I work with, because one of the kids beat up the teacher, and she's not allowed to touch the child to defend herself. She can't lift a finger. And so so the school district is scared of the word marma, and so they took all the marmazines away from the kids. And I'm wanting to be able to get some testimonials about how effective the marma are at reducing the anxiety and the stress in being able to work even with autistic kids and you know, kids who get violent. And so I'm wanting to collect stories, and Millie was in my focus this morning, that I had to figure out how to reach her. And so when you said she was on the call today, I just, like, that floored me. So and I've sent her a private message. But that's what, you know, when we let love guide us, then all kinds of miraculous things can happen. So I'm so grateful for this group.
So true. So true. Well, as I was, you know, preparing for this call, you know, the story of Gia came up, and the story of Gia was, she is a girl who has autism, and Dr. Naram was working with her, and he would do the series of marmas on her, and she was resistant at moments and not resistant at others. But, you know, she was kind of unruly, just, you know, screaming and out of control. And then he would do the marmas on her. And she would calm down. And then Dr. Naram would give her something to do, you know, come and sit up on this chair. And she would come and sit on the chair, and then everybody would applaud, you know, do the applause. And then he gave her something else to do, and she did it, and she would applaud. And if she was distracted and didn't do it, he would come back and do the marmas. And at one point in time, she, you know, her arms flailed and her finger scratched his face. And, you know, it kind of stunned Dr. Naram. And he later told Dr. Clint that, you know, he was afraid that maybe his ancient secrets weren't going to work in front of all of these people that were watching him work with Gia. And he had to go back to what Baba Ramdas said, and that is to get to the center. Come back to your center. Come back to stillness, silence, and solitude. And once he was able to do that, and of course he was practicing that often, so it happened very quickly, he was able to get himself to that place where he did the marma with her once again. And he was able to calm, and she was able to do she was able to focus on what he was asking her to do. And then he did, you know, like shake Dr. Clint's hand, and then everybody applauded and gave her the reward and let her know what a great job she did by being able to focus, because a lot of times with children with autism, either they're disconnected or they're not able to focus. So way to go, Robin, way to go. The marmas do work. And that just came to my mind when you were talking about wanting testimonials about how how the marmas work with the kids. So great. Thank you.
Thank you
How-
for that extra bit of information on there. That was great.
Oh, good. Really good. Really good. You know, when I very first came to Ancient Secrets, I was looking outside of myself for answers, for solutions. And the more that I have been working with the Ancient Secrets, the answers are inside of myself. What are some of the ways that you guys bring the Ancient Secrets back to yourself? What are some of the ways that you connect with yourself? You know, so many of us look outside for validation or for appreciation or a job well done, or you know, we're just looking for that. And I'll be honest, you know, when I was in India, I had my insecurities. My insecurities were there, you know, they came with me. And I had to really take a step back and find that place inside of me. So find the stillness, find the solitude, find the silence inside of myself. So one of the benefits that I have found with the benefits of stillness, silence, and solitude is clarity of thought, inner peace, stress reduction, enhancement of self-awareness, renewing energy. And those things, when we're able to come to ourselves, you know, let's just say something happened. I was insecure. I was in a country for the very first time. Every person that I was with was, and you know, they've been to India many times. A lot of them spoke the language, and they were very comfortable with the flow of what was happening. And I felt very insecure on many occasions. And I had to just stop and take a deep breath and just trust that I was going to be guided into a wonderful, you know, because I did trust every single person on the trip. And just allow myself to, when those feelings of insecurity came up, to honor them and appreciate them, and to know that they were revealing something to me, and that they may not be telling me the truth. You know, it may be based on some old information that I've had in the past, or something is just not true. So anyway, how have you guys found it in situations where you have not been secure or not been emotionally, you know, where you want to be? What are some of the things that you do to bring yourself back to yourself, to that wonderful, unique you?
Hi,
Shiver.
Jayna.
Oh, hi, Dr. Susan. Yes, please.
I always, you know, in everybody's life, they have challenges, obstacles, but I always remember what Dr. Norm said, there is no challenges, it's just the opportunity. And as we go in life, certain things happen, and I just keep repeating that in my mind and try to figure out what opportunity could be within that, for example, trauma or incident happened, because I do believe there is no such a thing as an accident in life. Anything happened for a reason. So the word of Shakti, being Shakti, these are all terms that I, at the beginning, was just a word in the book. I read about it, and then practically I experienced in life that, oh, I can be Shakti because certain things happen. Let's figure out what could be the reason and take the positive side of it. So as we go in life, this is something that I've been experiencing, and I'm so glad and I'm so blessed that I have those positive thoughts that helped me to go through those period of my life. So I thought I better share with you.
I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you did. Because you're right, there are no challenges. It's just only the opportunity. And yes, we all have that Shakti. Oh, that's beautiful.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Susan.
Sure.
Shifra.
Hey, let's see. I guess, I had something, well, it's almost a month ago where I was at a friend's house and she said something that triggered me, and I went upstairs and I was just like yelling, not directly at her, but I was just screaming. And I don't know, but somehow, sometimes it helps to call people, but I heard what you said, that works sometimes, but I think you have to kind of go inside yourself, because ultimately somebody else, they can point the way, but they can't really, access, what it is. They can't make your feelings go away. And so I find I do the marmas, that helps. I don't know. I remember I had a sponsor, and she used to say to me, everything happens for me, not to me. And that was helpful. Sometimes I go outside and I stand under trees, or I hug trees, lay down on the earth. Sometimes writing poems. Sometimes I've taken, if I'm upset, I'll just take it and turn it into a poem. That can make a difference. And sometimes it'll be a recording. Sometimes it's not, I might not write it, I might record it instead. Or sometimes like going and helping somebody else, or, like I'll go out and I'll start playing music for somebody, because then that can switch things around. And it's, so much like, how is it that one day my emotional, mental, spiritual state is so good, and the next day, or it's not good, and the next day it is good? Like, what happened? It's not like there's suddenly a totally new group of people in my life. Nothing cataclysmic has happened on the outside. So it makes me realize that sometimes when you're in a negative place, it's not necessarily what's real. It's just what you're feeling. I remember one of my favorite buttons said, "Don't believe everything that you think." So that was helpful. And sometimes just going out into the world and doing different things and engaging, so you get outside of yourself, so you're not just, locked into your own stuff, and then you see things, and just being willing to consider different perspectives that you might not normally consider. I think those are some things that can be helpful. Thank you.
That is so perfect, Shipra. You're so perfect. You're so right on. Some people cannot assist you with your emotions, and your emotions are valid. They're very valid to you. And like I said, when they come up, they usually are revealing something that is so precious, and it's coming up to be healed. And that's what I have found with these ancient secrets is everything has come up to be healed. But using your creativity, playing music or service, going out and serving another person, taking your mind off of another person. I see, you've talked about service so much. I believe that you help so many people. And then also going to nature, to restoring yourself. Nature is such an edifying, and well, we are part of nature. We're made of the earth. So it's so beautiful. So Shifra, thank you so much. Luke?
So what Ancient Secrets has brought into my life are so many miraculous things. The marmas. I love the marmas. I do so many marmas every day. Before I go to bed, I do a whole series of marmas. I wake up in the middle of the night in bed. If I have to go to the bathroom, I come back to bed, I do marmas. The marmas have become a huge part of my life. So that's one miraculous thing. The mung bean soup, of course, is just an incredibly miraculous healing type of food. The Ayush Shakti herbs that we take and the love that we share in our Ancient Secrets community, all of these things are part of a recipe for love and healing that has made such changes in my life. So that's what Ancient Secrets has done for me.
That's so great. Luke, there's one thing that I have been very impressed with you is that you really know yourself. You really know what your boundaries are. You really know what you need. You know what you need to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself. And it's so wonderful. The clear boundaries, working with somebody with clear boundaries, it's a great experience because you know exactly where you stand. There's no question about it. But you're such a great influence on people. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ariana.
Hi. So I think for me, I've really been finding through the years how important meditation is for me and connecting, where, just visualizing I'm connecting with source, and just really, when I really do that, it's like I shift my whole state of being. And I've been blessed the last few years. I don't know when it really got strong, except that I started really trusting my intuition and just having a trust for the voice that I feel is inside of me, that speaks to me anytime stuff is going on. And I take my issues to that space, or challenges. And if I don't know, if there's no answers and I'm like, what's going on? I go to that space. And when I'm still long enough and quiet, and sometimes I'll play really high hertz music, and I'll just stare at a candle until I'm just off in this zone. And the answers always come. I mean, for me, that's the saving grace in the world. When I'm going through anything, if I do that, it's like I can say I've become my best friend, but it's not even, it's my soul has become my best friend, my soul and that connection. And I can't even put that into words, how much that's meant to me, because anything, you get all your answers there, or at least I do. All my answers will come from there. And then it's just a matter of really absorbing that and walking forward and putting that into action. And really, that's been my saving grace. And also nature, like what Shifra shared. I mean, I can go into nature and there's that same, there's prana, there's that energy. And you can take that in and connect with that. That's like connecting with source in a sense, because prana is connected to source. And just being in that stillness, it's like I can wash myself of whatever's going on, that I can raise my frequency. I can put myself in a whole nother space. And that is so precious to me. That's why I live in the wilderness. I seem to need a lot of that.
I just remember when we were in Sedona, you were going through something, and I won't share what it was, but you were, you would face it with the mind, and the question would come into your mind, and you would say, well, maybe about this. And then you would come back and say, no, you had that actual knowing about the direction that you were going to go, that you needed to go. And then, sometimes the mind would creep back in, and well, I don't know, maybe this, no, you came back to center. And it was so beautiful to be able to watch that, because that's what happens. We have a conversation with ourselves, and, sometimes the mind comes over, and, but when you are in a state of meditation, a lot of times that confirmation of truth really does come through, so that it gives it more of an anchor to hold on to in those moments of, tenuous decision, so way to go.
And I also want to say too, just the marmas have been incredible, like what Luke was talking about. I found myself in moments, especially if there's a point where I have to really calm myself. Anytime I felt I've needed to calm myself, that calming marma, and if I need to focus, just all the marmas I've been learning have been really, really valuable. They work just amazingly well. So that's just been a gift. Yeah.
They do. They do. Whether I do it the speed marma or whether I do the low marma, they both work.
And the breathe with it too. I was something about when you take a breath and that stillness can just come over you and you ground. You know, for me, if it's like just letting this beautiful golden energy come in as you breathe, that's kind of what a go-to for me. Breathe, see golden energy, and then just coming out your feet rooted in the ground, and then that is just kind of like me. Puts me in space too. So anyway, thank you,
That's
Jayna.
so
Thank you
perfect.
for all
Thank
you do.
you.
You're such a beautiful facilitator.
Thank
Very,
you.
very, very awesome facilitator. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I just very much enjoy it, and I feel very honored to be able to do it. So thank you. Sue, we'd love to hear from you.
I guess now that I'm back, I get to I want to say some things. So
yay.
I think what helps me the most is I keep my eye on the prize, and the prize is moving from a contracted healing modality to this kind of solic burst of energy that is so life enhancing. So meditating, and remembering those points in my life where I have worked through things, and that burst of newness and awareness, I just hold on to that, and it keeps me going through the contracted, work of getting to that endpoint, which is not necessarily the ultimate endpoint, but it has served its purpose for whatever it is I'm working on.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And Sue, you just brought a story of, a story that I had. When I very first joined Ancient Secrets, it was, in April of 2020, and the city started to shut down, and my office that I was working at closed, so I lost my job. And I remember going through fear, and Carol and I were talking quite regularly at that time, and I just remember I had just learned the marma, what do I want? And I just remember I wanted to stay in a place of calm and quiet and trust that I was going to receive something, a job that was going to be good for me at that moment. And no more than 2 weeks later, I had a job. It was amazing. And, everything had been shut down, but this company was hiring, and I was so grateful to be able to have that job. But I remember the transition that happened when I did the marma. So here I was in a state of worry, and I would do the marma, and I would shift that mind, what you said, keeping your eye at the end of the goal. And that's exactly it, is being able to focus on what it is that you want so that you can. And meditation, of course, absolutely anchors that in. So Sue,
Yes,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sharon, I'd love to hear from you.
So, Shifra triggered something for me about writing a poem. And I've actually written 3 poems in my life. The first poem I wrote actually was published, but that's a long poem. But I had a short poem that I thought might be appropriate for today's conversation. And the poem goes like this: my enemies are not my enemies. My enemies are my friends. My friends are like flowers, giving me countless pleasures for hours and hours.
I love that. And that picture behind you is one that you have painted, right?
Yes.
It's beautiful. Sharon is so creative. She has beautiful artwork. She teaches art. And I remember I asked her to send me some of her artwork. And when I opened it up, my breath was taken away at how beautiful her artwork is. and it's so healing. She has such vibrant colors, and it's just beautiful. So Sharon, thank you. Thank you for sharing your creativity and your humor with the world. Catherine.
Morning, everyone. I guess for some people it might not be morning, but so Shifa reminded me of something about how our emotions cycle. It's something that Saima teaches, but it's about how our energy cycles through our chakras. It's always moving, and so we're always kind of spiraling through layers. And so that's why we can be like high one minute, the next minute we're like really sad or anxious or angry, and it's just part of how it works. And then the other thing for me is I know I don't go deeply into it, but our planet is receiving so much light and love right now to go to the next level. And so that means from time to time, our stuff's going to be in our face in a big way, anything that hasn't been completed. So that means you're not doing anything wrong. You're actually present for a healing process. And that's what kind of helps me from going into too much judgment. But even today, like in the middle of the night, I woke up and emotions were up and I didn't know what it was. I'm still not quite sure, except I'm getting ready for a huge healing session that's coming up in a few hours. So then the stuff comes up, and it's, for me, it's a gift from my soul and from that highest part of myself saying, here you go, here's something to look at that hasn't been shifted yet. And I definitely use the technique of sitting in silence and being still. But what I also add as a technique that I've learned from Ma is, I am the blue sky. And what that means is everything else is clouds, and it's not going to last forever. And I literally am so fortunate to be in Colorado because I can look out my window when I'm meditating and see blue sky most of the time. And that blue sky is that emptiness, that still place, the truth of who we are. So I can sit there for like an hour and say, I am the blue sky, I am the blue sky, and I just look at it and continue to allow myself to be in that silent place. And then if that doesn't work, sometimes I have another technique I'll finish with is, I remember that I've been taught that emotions are energy. And in the center of every emotion is light and love. So if I take that energy of a lower frequency, let's say I'm feeling jealous, in a moment, there's a spark of light in our sacred heart inside of us. And I can take that energy and I can put it right into that spark of light. Wherever you see a sparkle of light, you can take that energy and put it there. And I might do it 100 times. And maybe a couple hours later, oh yeah, I think it worked. But it's still something that I do. I've been doing, off and on since 3 in the morning or whatever. And yeah, sometimes it's shocking because I've been so high. I'll say briefly, I was in Egypt for about 12 days recently and was so high, so many blessings. And now it's back to doing the work again. But good to be back with everybody today. Thank you.
Oh, it's so good to see you too. What a profound message you just gave. When we very first started in the Ancient Secrets and we would tell people about what do you want, I would say, be careful. This is really powerful because it will unearth things that you may not want. You think you don't want, but in reality, they come up to be able to be clear, to get out of the way, to be able to give you your deepest desires of your heart. So yeah, this is pretty powerful. And then too, I love how you work with emotions. I work with emotions on a regular basis as well. I can tell that you do too. But when you've got something at 3 in the morning that's facing you, of course, but putting, that light you said putting it in your heart, the light in your heart. And wow, that's a beautiful, very wonderful practice. So Catherine, thank you. Lisa. So good to see you on the call, Lisa.
Hi, nice to see you too. I've been thinking about you on and off. I'm going to be going. Do you live in Utah?
I do now. Uh-huh.
Guess where I'm going on Friday?
Are you coming to Utah?
I'm going to the US.
Okay, well, we'll connect.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay,
I get to go for a week.
Wonderful, wonderful. So excited. Yeah, you've been on my mind too.
Yeah.
Great. So what's on your mind today that you'd like to share with us?
Oh, my goodness. It's just such a pleasure to be. It's been a while since I've been able to come on the call. And so today I carved out time and I thought, this is me time.
So
And I've
good.
just been loving hearing all the stories and just, you know, when you get busy with life, sometimes you forget about some of the basics. And so just hearing some of all of you share your stories today helps me remember, oh, yes, okay, I need to be grounded in that. Okay, yes, I'm on the right track here. Oh, yes, I need to maybe tweak things a little bit here. And so it's, you know, it's just a journey, right? It's
Yeah.
a journey. And
Can I share a little bit about you, Lisa?
okay, go ahead.
First of all, we're so appreciative of Lisa because she has been part of the Story Angels and she's now part of the PATH program. But she uses these home remedies and the marmas. She uses the ancient secrets in her household on a regular basis. And she stays very connected to the Vaidyas. She's got some children that are in her care that really need her support. Is there anything you'd like to share regarding that, Lisa?
Yeah, I get the kids, I've got a poster right at the front door. And with the poster, there's little cards. And so before they go on the bus in the morning, I say, okay, you guys have to do your Marma points. And so they pull a card and it'll have an intention for the day. And then they do their Marma points. And I've taught them how to do that. And right now I'm just finishing up a contract at school doing early literacy and numeracy for students who are struggling with reading. And so with each of the groups that I'm working with, I do Marma points before we do our little lesson for the day. And they like it.
It's so great. It's so great. Lisa really, she lives the ancient secrets. It's beautiful. So I'm so appreciative of her. So thank you, Lisa. It's so good to see you here.
Same here. And we'll connect. We'll connect.
Okay, we will
after.
connect. Yes. Jacob, so good to have you here too.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, for me, ancient secrets has been the gift that keeps giving. You know, now on the path, we are on our third year, and I was already a therapist, so I already was working with clients. But the transformations and the type of problems or symptoms that I'm willing to deal with right now, it's off the charts. I mean, we have amazing successes, and it feels like Dr. Naram shared with Dr. Clean. Dr. Clean just took it outside into the world. And then we are one of the seeds that they're planting. And through us, we're bringing it to so many people. So for me, it's been like that. You know, it's just a gift that keeps giving. And it's everything. It's a home remedies. I mean, yesterday, my sister was telling me that for years she dealt with migraines, you know, and she was like, but just dedicate yourself to remove migraines out of people. So in 4 months, you were able to take the migraines from me, you know. My other sister, breast cancer, going away, you know, that kind of thing. It's just marvelous. And the most incredible thing is that when when she was sharing that with me, it didn't bring into my life pride. It was more like, yeah, I know. You know, it's like that level of confidence, you know, like yeah, I know, I knew it was going to happen, you know. So that's what it brings to me. Something that I can share to the world, and through Yushakti connected into a healing path for those that are ready, because it's not easy. But for those that are ready and willing, boom, the results are there.
Well, you bring up some, very good points. First of all, this book, these remedies, this way of life, this lifestyle in every heart and every home. That's the intention. And sometimes the disease or disorder is not, it doesn't manifest as, sometimes it's like it's been manifest for a long, 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 long time. And so
Yes.
it's going to take a long, 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 long time to be able to reverse that. Whereas with somebody, oh my gosh, I just had breast cancer. It's just something new, which, just breast cancer. Oh my gosh, it's amazing that they have been able to work with her in that area. But,
Yeah.
and there is a motivation, and there is hope. And that's the one thing that Dr. Naram would always give. And that's what I've noticed that the Vaidyas give is hope. When a person has hope that there's a possibility that it can shift, it's amazing the power of a person and how they can shift it into possibility and create it for themselves. Miracles do happen. Jake,
Yes.
thank you so much for being such an incredible practitioner. I love that you're living the ancient secrets too. And you're just so vibrant. It's so wonderful.
Thank you. And love to see your transformation through the years also.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Lisa Lowe, I saw your hand was up. Lisa Lowe, would love to hear from you. Lisa. Is Lisa Lowe on the call? Anyway,
Hello.
there you are.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
So good to see you.
yeah, it's been a while, a little bit, but yeah, it's a great call to just reflect on other people's experiences. Um, I've had my challenges this last 6 months, but it's been quite a few years in the making, and it's interesting to hear other people's comments and reflections on how they deal with aspects of their lives and boundaries and remembering key points on life. So I ended up coming up with a challenge back in October because I randomly went to the doctor and I was kind of upset about some family stuff that's just been ongoing with extended family members. And I'm trying to keep the peace person, but I get the onslaught. But my blood pressure was really, really, really high. And so of course they wanted medication. And then I went into Ancient Secrets and figured out what to take and did marmas. And so I was very hesitant to take any of the medications. So I was working diligently on my own to lower it because I knew my mind was part of the problem because I didn't give myself enough chance to just have rests in between the thoughts. And then my body made it a habit to be in that stress mode all the time and just became used to it instead of knowing the deep relaxation. So instantly I'm like, hold on, bring all the things I've learned back into my life, like daily, hourly, and do the marmas, do the walks, do the breathing. And what I did a lot was Dr. Naram taught us the things that we don't want in our life. We put it in a frame and we shrink it down to nothing. And what we do want in our life, we put it in a huge frame and we make it so big that it takes up the universe. And we only see like a tiny foot of it by the time we make it so big. So I started to implement those things to get my blood pressure lowered, and it did help. And then I found further testing that the stress basically that I was under caused my aorta to enlarge. So at first they said I had an aneurysm, and for my height, it was pretty much I would need surgery right away. So knowing that, I just took it calmly and said, no, I'm not going to have surgery. I'm going to shrink this. And I just used the practices that I know and stop what I'm doing. And it kind of made me come present, where then all of a sudden my boundaries were finally valued because my family kind of overrode their issues over onto my life, which had been a point of discussion for a while. And I just thought it was so strange. But so it's like, do I have to create something harmful in order to get my life back how I want it? So I had to take that into account and accountability for my own self, like why did it need to get to this point? But I also loved myself regardless, because I understood as well. I'm looking in at all angles of all this dynamic that I was going through. But then a month later, I got a CT scan after working on myself, and the CT scan said, no, I don't have an aneurysm. It's dilated. It's a high normal. It's enlarged, but it's not an aneurysm. I'm not going to rush and need surgery. I'm like, wow. Because I kept visualizing, I want it. I want it in the threes. I want it in a 3.9. I wish I had it in a 3.9. Oh, I wanted a 3.9. And I kept visualizing it. And then when the CT came, said I was a 3.9. And or the dogs are barking. So that was like, wow, this is what I wanted. I wanted it to be smaller so I could work on that to get it even lower to a more close to normal. So I broke out when I saw that. I got super excited. I ordered I already had in the works leeches coming to me. I mean, every technology from Dr. Naram. I've been on the, mung bean soup was it's all I ate for 3 months. I got my inflammation down and got the inflammation in my mind, how I was thinking, because it became a habit of this being in stress and adrenal stress. And I did take the medication for a little bit, but then I stopped because it gave me pain actually. So the main goal was to keep my blood pressure down. So my blood pressure was like 160 to 220. Now it's 105 to like 125. It varies. Depending, because I am still going through some legal stuff with family, but every time I just breathe through it, I see the big picture, what I want. I see peace. I see my heart healed. I see the people that are on the other opposing family. I see them healed. Because I was really angry before. And obviously, because I hurt my own heart being upset. So it's a lesson to when you're getting too far into an emotion, to stop and bring yourself back into peace, bring yourself back in what is it you want for your life. Because if you don't, things start chipping away and adding up and getting out of control, which happened with me. And then your life gets kind of confusing. Things get intermingled, your boundaries aren't clear. So it's a gift, it was a shocking gift. It was a gift that I'm healing my heart, and I fully believe I will be in a even better normal range. I mean, I've lost 35 pounds in the last 3-4 months. I eat the mung beans. I consult with other Theta Veda practitioners, teachers as well, because I had too much heat in my heart and damp heat. So we're moving it back down into my stomach area, and all these things have shifted me in my body and my life and my mind. And I make sure self-care is number one and not outer care of everyone else at this moment. Like, I know I do give, but I give in a more correct way where I balance my own self as well in it. So I don't feel depleted. So it's a win-win. And I know Dr. Naram talked about that, win-wins. So I think the imagery has been a big part, and also the marmas. I became daily, I would get up and do everything, and all the lymph and all the points and all, the back and the head, and I do it on my walks. So anyways, if anyone's in some type of crisis, just know here I thought I was going to have open heart surgery quickly, and I ran and got, before they reported on the medical documents, I ran and got like life insurance, make sure my mom's taken care of. Like, I was planning my exit just in case, because it was, it's something I never thought of that would happen to me. But anyways, I'm grateful that I randomly went to the doctor that day.
Well,
So I just think it's a positive, a negative can be a positive if things get out of hand. And sometimes you don't know they're that out of hand because it just slowly builds up, up, up until you're like, it becomes a normal. It's just like the frog, turning up the water slightly higher and higher and doesn't notice how hot it is until it's, close to death, until it's dying. So I think, to always check in with yourself, and know what to do. When I would check in, I just didn't know what to do to get out of this. I wanted to run away from everybody, but I kept knowing self-care, more of this, putting myself first, but it just was a distraction. And the main thing that helped me was, like I said, is to do the framework and to do the marmas and just be very strict on the diet. And it really, the inflammation just left, started leaving right away. Anyways, I just wanted to give some people some hope.
Lisa, it's amazing. My teachers always told me never to tell anybody that you're proud of them, and I want to say that. But I'm very pleased for you. I'm so
Yeah,
pleased
thank
for
you.
It's so amazing what you've done. I remember when you were in that deep frustration and anger, and how
Right.
and I don't know if that comes from when we were children and we throw temper tantrums, and the more we throw the temper tantrum, we get what we want. But when we get older, it doesn't work anymore. And I'm so glad that you stopped and were able to say, this is not working. You can't change external situations. It's happening. The way you can do is change yourself. And
Right.
it's so exciting. You know Dr. Naram. You knew Dr. Naram. You worked with Dr. Naram on a regular basis. And so you put those tools into place, and what a turnaround. It's so inspiring to be able to see. And thank you so much for sharing it with us, Lisa.
Oh,
thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for letting me share. I mean, it's always good to hear success stories, and I'm still in the works. So, I will update and send in scans of my heart and my aorta, and I fully believe with this technology and the diet and the knowledge and the herbs, I will be back to 100%. That's the
believe
goal,
that.
as Dr. Ren says, do it 100%. So
I love it. That's so great. Great. We're gonna talk to Nina and Esther Francis. I'm so sorry I forgot your poem, but get ready because we're gonna have you read it. Thank you, Lisa. Nina. Oh, Nina, are you unmuted? Oh, there you are.
Okay. Lisa, Lisa, you just told my life story for the last 4 months.
yeah, that's mine. Last 4 months.
Yeah, I got myself to 220 over 180 with family related. My mom has dementia, and there are 10 of us, and we all formed a council, and we were trying to take care of her. And I did major damage to myself in being the glue and the peacekeeper, and didn't know what I was doing to myself until, and this is really what I wanted to say. Not only thank you for telling your story, because I have since talked to Dr. Neeta in India. She did an evaluation of my health. I got all of her recommendations for herbs and diet and everything I'm to do through this beautiful community. And I have 5, 6, 8 pages of things to follow because I wanted them. Number one. Number two, I went on the medication and still am on it, and explained to her that I want to be off the medication. And my meeting with her was just last Tuesday at 9:30. So I'm brand new to this.
Yeah,
And
I would
have-
stick to the diet, and a lot of the herbal drinks and things in the morning really helped. Hibiscus tea is like an ACE inhibitor. So if your blood pressure is caused from stress, I had a lot of hibiscus.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a list for you, but
Yeah,
I
she's given me
it really helped.
the most accurate of things to do. And I too, like you, I look to the allopathic world for measurement. There's no one better at diagnostics than the allopathic world. So I had an EEG, an EKG. I had all this stuff done to my heart, and all of my stress and my blood pressure is happening here. I could literally, with the calming thoughts, bring it from 220 over 180 to something crazy like 156 over 92 right there in the office.
Right, but that's why the frame that Dr. Naram taught, because I had so much clutter in my mind, it upset. But the frame of seeing each thing that I was upset, and then shrinking it and putting what I wanted in a frame and blowing it up, that really helped kind of remove the stuff in my mind that was causing a lot of stress. And my blood pressure literally would drop 30 points, because I'm working on a legal thing now, and sometimes it gets, I'll check it, oh, it's 130, and then I will just do that technique and do the breathing for 3 minutes, and go on a walk if I need to, and think of really happy things, and think of happy people and grateful people, great people in my life, or people I want to connect with more that have a great heart, not all this, drama that I've dealt with. And then my blood pressure goes like 105, 99.
Right.
So, but what it does, it trains your body, it trains your nervous system to go back into those. So the more you do the breathing, the more you calm your mind, the more your body is in your adrenals are not going to react to that. Now, I didn't have a cholesterol problem. In fact, my cholesterol was like almost too low. But I don't have plaque in my arteries. But I went and got leeches anyways to clean up my blood, and I'm doing leeches. I just covering because the leeches help with inflammation. Anyways, I just
I'm gonna
keep working on it. Good job. You can do it. If I can do it at 220, and average was 160, and I'm like, when I'm calm, it's 110, 115, 105. If I can do it, and I really stopped most of the medication. They gave me a new one because I complained about the other one. So I stopped it for 2 weeks, and I was fine. I just started to retake it only because I'm finishing this next 2 weeks of legal stuff, and I just don't want to get my blood pressure up too high. But then I'm practicing the techniques.
Well, what I wanted to do was say thank you for the testimony that all of this, and I think we come to this community with a great deal of, I'm 67 years old. I have Native American practices in my, I have Roman Catholic practices. I have Jewish practices. I have all of these beautiful foundations that I have loved, that I build upon. And I wanted to mention, in reference to Dr. Naram saying, blow up the things you want to an astronomical size and reduce the things you don't. Tomorrow is a lunar eclipse. And if you take all of the things that you want to get rid of out of your life, this was just from a Native American ceremony I did on Friday. Take all of the things and write them down, and then put them in the ground. You're not burying them, you're composting them. But put that list face down, and then take all the things you want in your life, all of the things you want back in, the surrender, the simplicity, whatever it is for you, take that and put it face up. Make sure the print is going toward the heavens. And you can just put a rock on each of, because we just had 13 inches of snow up here in upstate New York. So I'm just going to put it on the ground with a rock on it. But all of these things that we're doing help our heart, our mind, our contribution to our community. And it's just so refreshing to be able to talk to people about something that no longer shocks anyone. There's the marmas are beautiful. I've had ghee in my hair, on my temples, in my navel, and on my feet for so long now. I smell like ghee. I just smell like it. And that, last comment, Dr. Nita said, no problem. Just take essential oil and put it in your nose, or put it wherever because you're going to smell like it, especially if you put it in your navel.
Yeah.
It's going.
That's why I have such
bad hair days because I put ghee on my head and my face.
I've
Just
just gotten
covering
into
myself, doing
yeah.
it all. And you feel good doing the self-care. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, finally, for me. Me
Really.
is for me.
So thank you all for listening. I just
Oh
wanted
my
to confirm
gosh.
everything. Thanks, Lise.
Nina, thank you so much for sharing it. Lisa, excuse me, thank you so much for supporting Nina in this conversation. Nina, what beautiful practices. I'm so excited to be able to hear what happens as a result of all of this.
Yeah.
And Carol, Ray, if you can help me with the medical disclaimer right now, that would be so great. Will you just kind of say your little spiel that you do?
Oh, sure. Just as a reminder, this information is for educational purposes only, and you should always consult with your physician before you make changes to your diet or add or stop taking any medications. And you are ultimately responsible for your health, delivering your own baby. So take all this information as a educational and informational opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Esther Francis, Esther has a poem, and then we're going to go into breakout rooms. Thank you so much for this incredible conversation today. It's been wonderful. Esther.
All right. Well, wow. I have a lot of dittos. What an incredible sharing. We've been hearing a lot of words, so I almost, gosh, to go more with them, I think I want to invite us to do something first, we can all use our hands and feel more movement and animated, but still be sitting, which is we have a marma that's a lot of fun where you're clapping, but not flat, but you cup your hands. And it's the clapping for happiness, joy, well-being for no reason. So let's do that together now, and we'll do 6 of them. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can go, yay! And then we're going to do 2 more rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay! And one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woo! Whatever. And, sitting here, I'm facing a window, so I'm seeing out as I'm listening, and 2 doves arrived, and it reminded me of a phrase that came to me many years ago, but which is this, that silence is the sky, sounds are the birds coming through it. And let's take a moment of silence before I start this poem. It's called Love is the Alphabet. It came to me last Tuesday after being in a meeting with the Golden Angels. And there was so much love in that meeting, so much inspiration. Uh, and I had no intention of writing a poem. It just came a few hours afterwards. And I take poetic license in it because, for instance, one of the lines is love is genuine, and I spell it Jen with a dash. And I say love is extravagant, and I leave off the E at the beginning. So this is what we call poetic license. But I invite you, when you listen to, you can eyes open, eyes closed, whatever you like. But, I live on the coast where we have people who are surfing. Love here, we're inviting love as the wave, love as the energy. The words are like the surfers riding the waves. So I love the words, but let us invite taking a moment just in silence to move deeply into our hearts to that deep, all encompassing in all directions, within us, without us, around us. And take a deep breath inside just to be still and silent for just a moment. Feeling our unity. like the redwoods, like the trees, like the mycelium, holding hands beneath the earth with our roots, sharing the same sky, the same starlight, whether by day or night, wherever you are, whatever time it is in this now. Love is the alphabet. Love is appreciation. Love is beautiful. Love is creative. Love is daring. Love is exquisite. Love is free. Love is gratitude. Love is harmony. Love is ironic, immeasurable, and innate. Love is genuine. Love is kind. Love is loving. Love is marvelous, miraculous, mysterious. Love is not a noun. Love is open. Love is pure. Love is quiet. Love is rough. Love is sensual. Love is tough. Love is unifying. Love is visible. Love is wild. Love is extravagant. Love is yours. Love is the way to be. Love is you. Love is me. Love is A to Z. Love makes its own vocabulary. So thanks to Dr. Naram and his wisdom and teaching, ironically, that it is love that's the teacher.
That's beautiful. Oh, so perfect. Why don't we unmute and give everybody a blast of love and say, I love you and I'm with you. And Robin set up the
I love you
breakout
and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Love you and
I
I'm
love you and I'm with
with
you.
you.
Good to see everybody. I love you and I'm with you.
Love you
Love you
and
and
with
I'm with
you.
you.
Love
Love
you,
you
I'm
and
with
I'm with
you.
Love
you.
you and I'm
You
with
and I'm with
you.
you.
Love
I
you
love
and
you and I'm with you.
love you
I
and
love
I'm with
you and
you.
I'm with you.
Love you
I
and
love
I'm with
you and I'm
you.
with
Love you and
you.
I'm with you.
Love you
I
and
love
I'm with
you
you.
and I'm with you.
That's so
I love
wonderful.
you
Robin,
and I'm with you.
Love you and
Robin, go
I'm with
ahead
I
and
you.
love
open up the
you and
breakout
I'm with
rooms.
you. I love you and I'm with you. I
Hey,
love
Mama
you
Lee.
and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with
I
you.
love you and I'm with you. I
I
love
love you
you
and
and
I'm
I'm
with
with
you.
you. I love you and I'm with you.
Oh, Roma Maurice, you crack me up. I love you
Oh,
and
it looks
thank
like I did in a way that you need to accept instead of automatically going in.
Oh, let's see.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So that will be perfect. Yeah. So just go ahead and join your breakout room. Thank you everyone for such a wonderful conversation. And I don't know who started the recording, but if somebody could stop the recording, that would be great. And I'll stop the Facebook Live.